What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Oh yeah, guys. So, last episode, I believe I made a mistake, and I don't think not one single person mentioned this in the comments down below in the last video, but when I was checking out those meat ingots, let's check this out again. The meat ingots, yeah, when I was looking at these, apparently these are raw. I didn't really catch that at the time, but we need to cook these in order to get the full food effect from these meat ingots. So let's go ahead and just cook one. And we can see once and for all, yeah, there we go, cooked meat ingot versus the raw one. See, like I said, I didn't really mess with this stuff previously, so I didn't really pay attention that you could cook this since I've never used it before. But anyway, now we can take one of these and eat it. See, this shows that it heals 1.5 hunger and gives us like half a saturation haunch. All right, let's see if that's the actual value it does. Yes, it is. Okay, so, you know, that is better than eating the raw meat ingots by themselves, but the the brain jerky, still a lot better. So yeah, we're gonna continue to use the brain jerky instead of those meat ingots, which, you know, again, I can't believe not a single person talked about that in the comments, that I made a mistake there. Anyway, so let's start working on a quest today. Yeah, we still got this industrial fertilizer on us that we got as reward, and I was talking about we should look at that. So back to, was it Sky Farm? Can't remember. Don't think it was Sky Farm. Assembly line. Yeah, here we go. So under assembly line, we got one quest remaining. Yeah, it says 24 total. Okay, I was just making sure. So we got one quest remaining. This says organic fertilizer. Now that you have collected the sewage, you can put it through a composter to make fertilizer. Insert the fertilizer in a fertilizer near a farm and watch your crops' growth increase. Just make sure to wash them before eating. Right. So that's going to give us a sewage drum. Okay, that's a lot of sewage. So we need to make a composter and a fertilizer. Let's check this out. It's composter and fertilizer. Okay, so the fertilizer, yep, same normal recipes, machine frame and some of these things and some plastic. Ferrous gear, I'm not sure if we actually have those. I don't think we have any ferrous gears. In fact, I don't think we've had to make those at all yet, so that's new actually. And then some pistons, some brick, redstone reception coil. Okay, we're missing a few things for the composter. We need another piston. I thought we had a bunch on hand. Did I make a pattern for that? We have one. Yes, I did make a pattern for pistons. So we'll just go ahead and make up like, I don't know, 10 of those, just so we have some on hand for later. Okay, so we can do that. We need to make a furnace real quick. And what else are we missing? Anything else? The thing in the center, which is the machine frame. Okay, so we got all that set up. There we go. There's our composter, and now I can't remember what we were missing for this. The ferrous gear, so we need some molten nickel. So nickel, we got plenty of this. I believe it's 8 that we need for 2 gears. So we'll go ahead and take this stuff and drop that into our schmeltery. Is my magnet on? It's on. Okay, the ingots down there? Okay, they're all in the smeltery. Very good. I can't remember how I had this thing set up. Yeah, we don't want to make a block. We do want to make gears. So that will go ahead and make the gears for us real quick as soon as this stuff smelts up. Yeah, it'll be just another second here. Did I leave anything else down here? I did. A bunch of electrum blocks that I was making up previously. Go ahead and throw those back in the system. Yeah, I think everything should be good. So we should be making the nickel gears here in just a second. The ferrous gears out of the molten nickel. Looks like we got both of those made. And there we go. Nice. Okay. That should get us going. The final piece for this recipe, I do believe. Oh, no, we have to make the machine frame once again. We'll make one of those. I should make like a whole bunch of those and just keep them in the system. Okay, so we have a fertilizer and a composter. I can't remember if I've ever used these guys before, so let's set them down, just take a look at them. Okay, the composter, sewage. Okay, so that takes sewage, and this thing makes fertilizer, I believe is what it said. And then we put the fertilizer in here, and this has a range upgrade, so I imagine we can take the, what is that thing called? Is it a hammer? Yeah, it's a hammer. The precision sledgehammer. Yeah, and that'll show us, okay, so it faces a direction. Aha. I was wondering if I could just set that in the center of my farms and just have it do everything, but it doesn't look like that. It does actually have to face a certain way. Okay, he's got a little flashy thing on there. All right, so let's, whoops, 1. Let's go take the fertilizer and use our industrial fertilizer up here real quick, and let's just see how this thing works. So we can stick this guy. You know what? We should probably just go ahead and make a large upgrade for this. As I face up, I always do that with these machines. We should make like a huge range upgrade for this, and just kind of see how this will work for everything. Okay, so the range upgrade for this one over here, I made a Thaumium one. I believe we discovered this was a little bit bigger than what we needed. Yeah, okay, so we can make the next size down from a Thaumium. So let's go do that. We'll make a range upgrade for that fertilizer. Okay, is it just called range upgrade? I didn't even look at that thing. Okay, let's not do that. Mine Factory Reloaded. It's these things down here. So Thaumium, okay, just call it upgrade Thaumium. Radius increased by 10. We should probably just make the 9 one. That's out of Manulin. And yeah, that's just Manulin plus some raw plastic and redstone. I think we should have everything in the system for that. Let us make a, no, not that one, this one. All right, there we go. So we have everything ready to go for that. You can stick that right in here. We hold the sledgehammer. Yeah, I think that is right. It is really hard to tell because these things are overlapping. Let's take this out real quick. Yeah, that looks like the correct upgrade right there. All right. So we'll go and put this one back in here. That's slightly bigger than the area, but that's fine. I might change that to the correct one later. So let's put some fertilizer in here and see how this thing works. It has power, and we put fertilizer in there. Or is this the wrong kind of fertilizer, I wondered? No, that's Mine Factory Reloaded. So we have Forestry Fertilizer, Botania Fertilizer, Mine Factory Reloaded Fertilizer, Thermal Expansion Fertilizer. Okay. Well, I don't know why this is not working. Maybe it just doesn't work with these particular crops. That might be a thing. I wonder if we should try like some vanilla crops and see if that does anything different. I've never used this machine before, guys. So I could be doing something completely wrong. Oh, you know what? We can't use vanilla crops because I guess we could try it on this. On these berries? Yeah, we can't plant vanilla crops in this mod pack, so that's a no-go. Oh no, I did that wrong yet again. Please, it's this way. And we'll put the fertilizer in there. And does that fertilize the berries at all? Yeah, this is still saying work nothing. I don't understand why it's not doing something. Okay, I'm going to make a cut. I'm going to check this out, see what I'm doing wrong. It might just be the fact that this doesn't work with the Tinker's Construct stuff and it just doesn't work with the Agrocraft crops. I'll figure that out and I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I did some research. I went to the wiki and I was looking at the MFR harvester, and it says that it scans the area for bone mealable plants, and then it uses the fertilizer when it finds them and it bone meals them. Okay, so I believe some of these crops that we have around here can be bone mealed. So let's just grab some bone meal here and test some of these. These can be. In fact, all of these look like they can be, I think. And then especially these right here. We've done this before, trying to get some emeralds. So yeah, we can bone meal these guys. And I did use the fertilizer down here to check it out and see if it would fertilize, but it wasn't doing anything, so I couldn't figure it out. So I decided that we can try it on vanilla things, and the only thing I could think of that was really that vanilla is like these trees. So we can plant down some saplings here and wait a moment. You can see it's done this once before, and it did use a bit of this fertilizer. We can just wait a moment, and it will go ahead and use that fertilizer and grow those trees crazily fast, which is awesome. Why it doesn't work with the Agrocraft stuff, I don't know. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Maybe I wasn't waiting long enough, but I sat there and waited like a minute at least, and I didn't see anything happening. But yeah, it does in fact work, and it does use a little bit of the fertilizer there. I don't think it's exact. Well, maybe it's just one per growth. Maybe that's what it is. So we'd need a whole bunch of this if we're going to set up a tree farm, similar to what we have set up here. I really don't know if we need to do that, though. we have plenty of wood down below from our original tree farm. We've jumped down here and looked at this before in the past, but we have a lot of wood already collected down here, so I don't think we need another tree farm set up, at least for collection of wood. If it doesn't work on the agricraft stuff and we don't really need a tree farm, I can't really think of much other use for it. Maybe we'll come up with something in the future sometime, I don't know, but for now at least we know it works. That's how it does work. And I guess making fertilizer would be the next step with the composter, and I think it said that we had to put in sewage into the composter in order to create this stuff. Again, that's something I haven't really messed with before, so I assume we just pipe in sewage and then it will eject it into the world once it's done creating each of the fertilizers. Okay, so that's something I will set up here in a moment. We're gonna have to set up the, I can't remember what those are called, the sewers? I think we have to set up sewers and then put animals on top of those to make sewage. I think that's what we have to do. So we set these things down. We can actually stand on them ourselves if we wanted to. And we do produce a little bit of sewage every once in a while, if I remember correctly, unless that's been changed. Another thing I remember is that these things work pretty slowly. Like if you put a bunch of them together, like you have to space them a few blocks apart or something. So it's probably best just to have one. Can I use the sledgehammer? Does that show me the radius of the things looking in? No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so a couple blocks above it, huh? So you can hide this underground. Yeah, so I believe, yeah, we do create a little bit of sewage. Basically what you'd want to do is put one of these in like a little containment area, like a 1x1 holding cell on top of it, and fill it full of animals to collect a lot of sewage. Yeah, we might do that. We still have cows up here, I believe. We have a couple of cows in like a 3x3 area. We could contain these into a 1x1, put a sewer underneath them, and then start collecting sewage automatically that way. Something we might do. But yeah, let me go ahead and get some sewage going. We'll make a little containment area for these, and we'll check that out, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I removed our little breeding operation since we really don't need that anymore. We can spawn in all the mobs we need using the safari nets and that MFR spawner. So I made a little 1x1 cell here, just filled it in, or surrounded it with glass, and we got a bunch of cows. I don't know how many are in there, about 10 or so. And then down below, 2 blocks below, we have our sewer. We saw that that can reach up 2 blocks higher, so we can hide it underground. And then below that, we have a drum just collecting sewage. We've already collected 32 blocks, or I'm sorry, 32 buckets worth, so it's collecting it decently fast. Over time, we will collect a lot. I don't really know how much we're gonna need, if we're gonna need a lot of fertilizer or whatever. We might set up a bedrockium drum here, and we might revisit this at another time, just collect this, you know, as time goes on. I did put a sound muffler down there as well. These cows are pretty loud. But yeah, I was just over here. I turned this off again. Turn this back on. Yeah, we spawned a cow, we'll just grab them with the safari net, and then I was just sitting them on top of these conveyor belts, and eventually they'll make into that 1x1 hole and join their little buddies down below. But yeah, we're making a bunch here. Let's go and disable that again, and then I'll put the rest of these cows in with their friends. Yep, I might end up removing some of these. I don't know if having this many is going to be a bad thing or not, but it seems like just sitting them on those conveyor belts like that, they never fall off. They always will make it into that little 1x1 area, which is awesome. So yeah, we'll go ahead and set up a way to start converting the sewage into the fertilizer just to see how that works, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright, so once again, that's a pretty simple setup. I just put a chest here so we could kind of see how it's working, but yeah, it does eject the fertilizer into the world, so you have to have some kind of a storage containment. I probably will set this up so it's just ejecting directly into this tesseract that's giving it energy. But yeah, we're just piping directly out of the sewage drum into our composter. So it's just filling up. It takes a couple of seconds, about 10 seconds I suppose, to make each piece of fertilizer. And yeah, nothing super special about it. And then it is just putting it right into this chest as it makes each additional piece. So yeah, like I said, we'll probably remove the chest over time. I was thinking we would just let this chest fill up. We might do that too. I don't know if we have to make all of the fertilizer or not, if there's any reason to. But I would like to collect that sewage, because I kind of feel like that might be a part of the For the Hoarding quests later on. If we dive into those, we might not. But anyway, yeah, pretty simple. Let's go ahead and just put that block there, and there we go. Yeah, not too bad. So back to the quest book. We completed this quest, and we've made both of these and checked those items out. That's going to give us the sewage drum. So let's claim that reward. And it looks like this assembly line is completed 100%. That's awesome. So that's another one. All quests completed. Very happy about that. Very cool. Okay, so Sky Farm, I think, was the next one I wanted to start looking at. We wanted to get into these multi-farms and check out this stuff from forestry. So let's go ahead and read what the quest says. It says, forestry's multi-block farm structure is another method of growing the things you need. It requires a 3x3x4 structure in the center of a 21x21 space. It can be made even larger, up to 5x5x4 in a 35x35 space. But a 3x3x4 is the smallest. The structure in the center will need farm blocks, a gearbox for power input, a hatch for putting things in and pulling things out, a valve for piping in water, and you can include a control block if you want to be able to turn it on and off with the redstone signals. Okay, and that's going to give us a soldering iron, which we'll need to make the upgrade chips if we want to change the default farm behavior, and a reward bag, which is pretty cool. So this wants us to make one gearbox, one block, one hatch, valve, and farm control. Now, most of these things, if I remember correctly, let's back away from these cows. If I remember correctly, those multi-farm things require a lot of bronze or copper. I don't see that right here. What? Let's do farm. There we go. So farm block, yeah, copper, stone. Is it stone bricks? Looks like it's stone bricks. And oh, you know what? That's just to make the specific type. Yeah, that's right. These forestry blocks, they can be made into a bunch of different materials. So we could do stone brick, mossy stone brick, regular brick, cracked stone. What else we got here? Sandstone, nether, chiseled, quartz. That'd be a really expensive farm. Yeah, and quartz pillars. Okay, we'll probably just do it out of the stone bricks, I think, just to make it cheaper. If we had like some kind of a color design, like we made everything out of regular bricks and stuff, we'd probably use that to match, but it doesn't look like that is going to be an issue. So let me go ahead and create those items that we need here. Just a few bits of crafting. I don't think there's anything too complicated in here. Actually, if we go back to that farm block, yeah, it requires these tin electron tubes, actually. So this is something we haven't messed with yet in this series, I do not believe. So we need a thermionic fabricator with this recipe, and we have to put in some kind of glass to make this glass liquid glass. Put all those things together, and then it'll craft up to 4 at a time. Recipes. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things. What is this? Larch wood, fireproof. Huh. Refractory wax. I didn't know that was a thing, that you can make wood fireproof. That's kind of cool. Interesting. So can you make stairs fireproof? I didn't see anything about stairs. It looked like logs and planks. Okay. Okay. Well, that's something that I want to check out. I was thinking, like, for upgrading the base and stuff like this with different things. Stairs? Yeah, if we can't make those fireproof or slabs, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'll go ahead and start making these things, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, so I went ahead and I made some patterns for all these different farm pieces that we need. Yeah, it's all pretty simple. You know, we just needed the tin electron tube. So I went ahead and I made one of those. And then I was looking at these other ones. So like if I wanted to make the farm gearbox with the stone bricks, if I click on this, it shows the pillar quartz block instead of the stone bricks one, which is kind of weird. In fact, all of these do. So in order to make the correct pattern, I had to actually make one of these farm blocks and then manually place it in here into each one of these recipes. I don't know why it shows just the pillar quartz block for all of these, but it does. So yeah. Anyway, I went ahead and made one of those, so I had to make these tin electron tubes. And I'll show you the thermionic fabricator real quick. Nothing super special about this. So we just set that up here. I got a power wire running underneath it. Just some tin ingots, some redstone. You just set the pattern in here, and then you can pull out your created product right here. It does require glass, so there's a little spawn for glass here. It warms up over time when you first turn it on, and then it's got some liquid glass right there, and you can just pull the items out like so. We're going to go ahead and change the recipe, though, to gold. We need these for one of the next items. I think it was the farm control requires these golden electron tubes, so I figured we'd do these together. So there is the golden electron tubes. I guess it creates that automatically when it places the item here. It's not like when you first click it out. It's already made right now, so you can just go and pull these out. I don't think there's a way you can make multiple at a time. You have to actually click those out, which is fine. Okay, we'll go and remove that. I think having 48 of those is probably going to be enough for a little while. We can go and replace that back with the tin pattern, because we'll probably be using more of those. So we got a bunch of tin and the gold ones. Yeah, I made 50... made over a stack of the tin ones earlier. Okay, so I think we should have everything together now. So if we search for farm, yeah, I think each one of these different ones should show up here. So let's make a farm control, and then we will make the farm valve. And we might run out of the tin gears because it does require a bunch of these on a lot of these recipes. Farm hatch did require trapdoor, so I made a pattern for that. Okay, start. I think some of these are using others in their recipe. Yeah, we have to remake the farm block once again, which is not a big deal. Okay, so now we should have all of those items that are required for the quest. Yeah, so that's now 100% complete. It's going to give us a reward bag and a soldering iron. So let's go and claim that reward. And this is a good reward bag. Wooden armor. Cackle reward, thanks. Appreciate that. Okay, we'll look at these multi-farms here in a minute. I'm curious that, yeah, okay, so it unlocked this, and this says this unlocks one quest elsewhere. So in order to complete this, we're going to have to make a basic circuit board. That's going to give us 4 more and an iron electron tube. So this says multi-farms are configured using the circuit boards. Right-click on the ground with a soldering iron and place the circuit board you want to program in the iron. You will need to add electron tubes to tell the farm what to grow. When you open up the circuit board with the iron, the top slot is north, right is east, bottom is south, and left is west. The tube placed in the top, or the tube placed in the slot will tell the farm what it should be planting. Okay, so we can mix and match. Very cool. So how do we make the circuit board? It's been a while since I've made one of these. I have made them before. So it's in a carpenter with water, some redstone and tin. Okay, redstone and some tin. Tin. Where's the tin? It's this one. I found it. Squeezer carpenter. Okay, we can click all this stuff out of there. So redstone, I guess we already had some in the carpenter already, so that's fine. And then 1 piece of tin. Oh, it needs water. We never put up a way to automatically fill this with water. There we go. Alright, so now it is creating the circuit board. And there we go. So we got one of these guys. So if we go into the soldering iron, let's actually grab some of these tubes out of here so we can see what this is doing. Grab one of each of those. So it says we click that on the ground, then we place the circuit board here, and then we can switch this between managed and manual, and then we can put in these electron tubes. I don't think that did anything. Where'd my tube go? Maybe we need more than one for it to do something. Okay, so that says it's a succulent farm on the manual, no effect on the managed. I don't know where that tube went. What the heck? Let me grab some more tin. Let's grab a few more. It might require more than one, or maybe that actually just doesn't do anything. You can put those in there. So it says it's a peat bog. Oh, it requires 4. Is that what it says? I'm not sure what the 4 means. I don't know. Okay, so I'll have to figure that out. Manual farm, yeah, now it says peat bog. I wonder what happened to my electron tube from before. I have no idea. Interesting. Oh, wait, okay. So I put in the electron tube, it was set to manual, and then it completed this circuit board. So I think this one needs to be remade. I think that's what happened. It says peat bog on there. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to the quest book. Does this say it's completed? It is. So detection task for the circuit board, we already did that. Manage peat bog, oops, okay. Well, I wanted us to make that, and we did that apparently. So tin electron tube. And then the orchard, I should say, a copper electron tube will create a manual orchard or a managed arboretum. If you select the manual option, you can plant forestry fruit trees and the farm will not cut the trees down. If you choose manage, it will plant the saplings and cut the trees as they grow. Aha. Right, so we need to make a copper electron tube to complete this. So I assume it's going to be the same recipe as we already have, just with copper in there. Whoops, no, this one over here. Let's click these out and put some copper in its place. Get those tin out of there. Okay, so there's some copper electron tubes. And does that satisfy this quest? It does. Yeah, I think we're all done here. So it's going to give us 4 more circuit boards, which is good because I messed up that first one, but that's fine. And an iron electron tube. Let's claim this reward. So it said that unlocked 1 quest elsewhere. I'm wondering where that unlocked a quest. This one still isn't 100%, and I assume there's going to be something else that's going to be showing up here. I'm looking at here, 0 quests available. Maybe I'll just poke in there. Okay, no, nothing in there. Nothing. It's probably, like I said before, going to be appearing underneath the hoarding areas where we're unlocking things. We just can't see it just yet. Yeah, we still have to do applied energistics with the Thaumcraft stuff. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and make a break here. Make a cut, take a break, see what else we should do, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I figured we'd end off the video here by setting up one of these forestry multi-farms. So I removed all of the other trees that we had here on this one platform, like the walnut and the chestnut. I removed those and I put down a 3x3x4 forestry multi-farm. This is the smallest one that we can make and it fits pretty much perfectly on this platform. So yeah, it's 9 blocks away from the actual structure here, and then it's diagonal to 9 blocks away over there. And yeah, same thing, repeats the pattern all the way around. So 3x3x4, all of these farm blocks except for the special block. So in the center here I have a farm control, so we can turn the farm on and off with the lever here, giving it a redstone signal. Down below, let's take a look at this. I have the farm hatch. That's how you put items in and take items out. I remember before setting these things up a while ago, if you have the hatch on the bottom, it'll automatically eject into an inventory. So we're going to use that to extract like the saplings and the wood and the apples and things like that. If we set this up for like an apple oak tree farm, for instance. So yeah, we'll have a tesseract there accepting items. And I think, let's see, yeah, this one right here has already been set up to receive items, so we'll go ahead and just stick that one right here. So that's set to main base. This is set to item mode send only, and then energy mode receive only. So we will use the farm gearbox there to power the farm. So you put energy into it. So put that right like that. So now the farm should start getting power. And then we have the farm valve right here, which is going to accept liquids. In this case, we're going to pipe water into it. So we'll use this one. Let's see, item mode blocked, energy mode, fluid mode, receive only. There we go. And then we'll set this to water. Okay, so now if we would click on here, yeah, we have water in the farm. It should be powered. There's no indication of the power, but it is getting power. We need to put fertilizer in here to make the farm work. And then this is set up automatically for a tree farm. We could put in the circuit board if we wanted to, but I don't think we're going to. We shouldn't need to do that. We'll put our regular oak saplings over here. And then let's grab some dirt. Yeah, we have dirt and coarse dirt in here for some reason. I don't know where we got the coarse dirt from. I must have accidentally crafted that at some point. Let's make sure we're taking the right stuff out of here. So yeah, we'll just grab some dirt out of the system. Actually, let's do this from up top so we can see this whole thing work. I believe, if I can get through here, as soon as we start putting dirt in the system, it'll start laying it out. It'll use that fertilizer on the dirt, turn it into humus, lay that out, and start planting saplings. So let's go ahead and click this dirt in here. Might take it a moment actually to start working. Oh, well, let me put, is that, yeah, that's coarse dirt. Coarse dirt won't go in there for some reason. Yeah, so it lays out the humus and it starts planting the saplings, which is pretty cool. Has it done anything over here? Nope. Guess it just does one section at a time. Yeah, now it's doing this one over here. Okay, and that's all the saplings we had, apparently. All right, so it's laying out the rest of the humus over here, and then it should do it on this side as well. Now, if I hit F7, yeah, mobs can spawn on this, so we're probably... I'm not sure what we're going to do to keep mobs away. It looks like even with the saplings planted right here, it is still going to allow mobs to spawn. So we'll probably want like shift place. Probably want like torches around like this. We'll probably have to light up around the outside, something like that as well, just to make sure mobs aren't going to spawn on this area. I'll probably end up doing the glowstone nooks underneath, like stone brick covers or something, just so we don't have to have this many torches around, but you get the idea. Yeah, you do have to have that lit up. As the trees grow, the farm will chop them down, and then it'll replant from the saplings. So we could probably speed this up a little bit. Just grab some bone meal, see if we can see this happening. Okay, there's a tree here. Get another one going. Now, the way these farms work, if I remember correctly, any extra saplings that it gets, it'll stick in this inventory over here to be planted. And then once this fills up, all the extras go down here, and then that'll start going into our system. The wood automatically gets put into the AE system or into that farm hatch automatically, so we don't have to worry about that. The only other thing we do have to worry about is providing this farm with fertilizer, because after a while, it'll use up that fertilizer as it replaces these humus blocks with regular, or I guess as it replaces the humus where trees grow with more humus, it has to use that fertilizer. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. As the saplings, or as the leaves despawn, saplings land in here, and it picks those up and sticks it back into the farm to be replanted, which is awesome. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all there is to this farm. Yeah, actually, I think... Oh, no, I was going to grab some saplings and show you, but yeah, as the saplings fall on the ground, they do get picked up automatically. So let's throw one. Yeah, you see those just get picked up and then put into the system to be replanted, which is kind of cool. All right, so yeah, that's how these forestry farms work. You can use the circuit boards to plant specific things like pumpkins or melons or other types of trees or whatever. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.